Hey, Cameron McKenzie-McHarg here, co-founder of 776 BC, former Olympic rower. Today we're going to talk about a really important part of the rowing stroke, the very finishing point. And why this is important is for a number of reasons. One, it's critical to get the right finishing position to be able to maximise all the power you've generated from the legs, bodies, arms, and to the very finishing of the stroke. If you're in a crew boat out in the water, it provides a really clear reference point as to where the rest of the crew and all your athletes should be hitting that single point at the same time every stroke. So let's start with the basics. What we want to see is a really strong position from the hip through to the shoulders. The shoulders will be a little bit further behind the hip, but you'll see a straight line. What you don't want to see is a curve in the spine where athletes are not in that strong position at the very back. The other thing is where the handle position finishes off is critically important. So what we don't want to see is it coming down in the lap. What we don't want to see is it coming too high and pushing the shoulders up. We want to see just at the mid region of the chest. Now, some coaches will have different opinions as to where exactly that position is, and so I'll leave it into the coach's hands as to where they want their crew athletes to be finishing, but we typically say just in the middle of the chest region. Our motion rowing suit has got some nice horizontal lines which makes that really easy to identify as to where that point exists. What we often look for is then the position of your wrist through to your elbow through to your shoulder. And so your wrist should be flat, elbows a little bit behind your body, not too winged out, not too down, but just nice and flat, and then your shoulders still relaxed. And so what we don't want to see is your shoulders up and sort of, actually taking too much stress through here. The reason this is so important is that if we get a really strong position at the back, it carries that power that you've generated all the way through to your body and provides that really simple reference point as to where to get to at the back of every stroke. And so it makes the whole sequence really simple, because at every stroke you're just going really strong, flat finish and hitting that point at the back. Really useful for anyone that's on a rowing machine to just use that as a nice reference point. Critical if you're in a crew boat to make sure that your athletes are getting some consistency and all lining up together on that single point. But finish of the stroke, that's what it is.